Hello, my name is Madam Jennifer from Educare TZ. Welcome my lovely Form 4 student in our biology session. And in our today's session, we are proceeding with the solving of the series of the Necta question for biology paper 1, and it is for the year 2014. Welcome. Our question today, question number 13 for the year 2014. And the question stated that explain two differences between the artificial and the natural classification system and indicate two merit and demerit for each system. My lovely Form 4 students, it is amazing that the topic we have learned from Form 1 to Form 4 are very essential, are very important to our learning and for our performance in the final examination. So you are needed to respect each and every topic you are learning from Form 1 up to Form 4. Sio kadharau kwamba nao nimefika Form 4 topic za Form 1 hazina maana. Ndio zinakupatia marks. Sasa unaangalia katika mtihani yako wa mwisho topic za Form 3 sana sana na za Form 2 na za Form 1 ndio zinakuwa nyingi sana as compared to those topic of the Form 4. Both topic from Form 1 to Form 4, they are very important. Make sure kwamba unazimaster vizuri. Zote tumeweza kujifunza hapa Educare Media from Form 1 up to Form 4. You are allowed and you are welcome to follow. Just subscribe so that you can get the learning at home and whenever you want. So this question is being derived from the topic of the Form 1 in that topic, and one of the interesting topic of the classification of the living things. This topic we study it from the Form 1 to Form 4. Katika Form 1 tunasoma classification, Form 2 tunasoma Form 3 pamoja na Form 4, na zote zipo hapa Educare Media. Kama hujafuatilia, you're welcome. So, in order to answer this question, you needed to have a deep understanding pertaining the concept of the classification of the living things. Ambapo tumeweza kupewa hapa instruction which we can use so that to answer our question. The questions need you to give the two difference between the artificial and the natural classification system. Two different. Obey the order. Only two difference. Another one, indicate two merit for artificial and the two merit for the natural classification system, and the two demerit for artificial and two demerit for natural classification system. So mpaka hapo utaona katika kila system utakuwepo na pointi 4, total itakuwepo 8. Kujumlisha na two difference utakuwepo na total 10 points. So ukiangalia hapo utatumia muda mwingi kwa ajili ya kuweza kuexplain. So ukiprovide in excess, you are consuming the time. Na hivyo utaendelea provide the extra point ambazo hazina marks. Make sure kwamba una stay in the limiting time ambao na zile instruction ambazo umeweza kupewa kuweza kuensure kwamba unazuia ile upotezaji wa muda na unakuwa unamaliza maswali yako kwa muda. So when you talk on the classification system, this is the process of the grouping and the sorting organism depending on the difference in similarity, meaning that organisms which have the features in common tend to be grouped in the same group, and organisms with the opposite characteristics tend to be classified into the opposite or into the different group where they tend to show the characters in common. And there are two main types of the classification system, where there is natural and artificial classification system. Once we talk on the artificial classification system, this is a type of classification which is based on the few observable features. So it's just use a few features or characteristics to group organism. Either example, they can use either the presence of the fur and absence of the furs. So organism with the furs will be classified or grouped into the same group, and organism which does not possess the furs will be also classified into another group. Also, the presence of the limb and the absence of the limb. So organism also with the limbed organism will be classified into the same group, and those limbless will be classified into another group. So that is all about the artificial classification. So just use those features which can be seen using your naked eyes. When you talk on the natural classification system, this means that this is a type of the classification system that uses both internal and external features to group organisms into their respective groups. They tend to use many features that organism they tend to utilize both internal both analogous and homologous features that organism tend to have. Also, they tend to classify organism based on the evolutionary ontogeny or evolutionary relationship that organism possess. They base on by looking the common ancestor. What are the ancestors of this particular group? So that is one of the greatest difference between these two kind of the classification system. Now, after gaining that short insight containing on what we are needed to answer, now let us pass in briefly pertaining the concept of the classification, the system. After there, now we can give the differences and the merit and demerit of this system of the classification system. So, the concept of the classification. The classification, this is a process of grouping organisms according to their similarities and the difference. So, therefore, organisms that are similar are placed in the same group, and these similarities can be in terms of the evolutionary relationship, or the way they carry out their life processes, like the reproduction. Are they reproducing sexually or sexually? The excretion, which kind of the nitrogenous waste they tend to produce, how do they breathe, what are the respiratory organs they use to perform the respiration process. Either they use the lungs, are they use the gills, are they use the skin, are they use the buccal, and so forth. That is all about the classification. So, the classification system. There are two main biological classification systems, which are natural and artificial classification system. This is where a question has been derived. So you are needed to have a deeper understanding pertaining the concept of this type of the classification system, which is natural and artificial classification system. Now let us see them. The artificial classification system. Once we talk on the artificial classification system, this involves grouping organisms according to few observable features. For example, the presence of the wings and the legs. So you just group organisms according to the few observable features which can be observed or seen using the naked eyes. Example, the presence of the wings and the legs. Therefore, birds, bees, and bats would be placed in the same groups because they possess the wings. Also, artificial classification system also involve classifying organisms according to their size, shape, how they move, where they live, and what they are. They carnivores? Are they herbivores? Are they omnivores? Are they insectivores? So that is all about the classification. Are they small? Are they big? How do they move? Are they mobile? Are they immobile? And so forth. So Aristotle used artificial classification system to classify plants according to their shape, size, and whether they are useful to man or not. Now, the question is you to state the two merits of the artificial classification system. After seeing the definition, now you can give us the merit of the artificial classification system. Shortly, the artificial classification system based on simple and easily observable features. They tend to use these features which are very simple to identify and can be seen by every person. So any person can perform the classification system by the use of this artificial. Kwa mfano utaangalia kama ni majani, utaangalia majani mapana na majani membamba, ambazo zinakuwa zina serration, ambazo zina margin, na ambazo zenyewe ni flat, ambazo zinakuwa zina zile veins na ambazo hazina veins. Utatumia color. Hizi hapa ni za njano, hizi hapa ni za kijani. Utatumia size. Hii hapa ni miti mikubwa, hizi hapa ni nyasi. So that is the importance of the artificial. So you can observe it. Okay, umeangalia ndege huyu ana mabawa, bata ana mabawa, nyuki ana mabawa. So wote ni group moja kwa sababu kuna mabawa yanaonekana. So it is one of the very simplest method of the classification. Another is it is stable since it does not change over time or discovery of new organism. Vile system ni stable. Kwa mfano tukisema kwamba nyuki ana mabawa, ndege ana mabawa, haita change. Miaka yote wataendelea kuwa na mabawa. It cannot change kwamba ifikie hatua kwamba nyuki akose kuwa na mabawa. So it is stable and it cannot change. And therefore it does not also offer the room for the new investigation. The demerit of the artificial classification system. Since it is based on the few observable features which organisms have in common. Example, presence of the wings. Where you see that bat insect and bat bees and bird are classified into the same group because of the possession of the wings. Lakini in reality these organisms are not of the same group. Ukiangalia katika evolutionary relationship, kwa sababu ukiangalia bees yupo katika phylum Arthropoda katika class Insecta. Ukiangalia bird yupo katika phylum Chordata katika phylum aves katika klasi ya ndege aves. Ukiangalia bats ipo katika phylum Chordata katika klasi ya mammals. Kwa unaangalia kwamba hawafanani kabisa, lakini kwa sababu ya this artificial anakuwa na place this organism, unrelated organism end up to be classified or grouped into the same group. This is one of the demerit or disadvantage of the artificial classification system. Kwa haina ukweli na haina scientific proof. So unrelated organism in the internal makeup are grouped together and are not grouped together because of few external resemblance features. So sema kwamba unrelated organism in the internal makeup are grouped together because of few external resemblance features. Kwa kwamba organism ambao evolutionary wanakuwa hawafanani, lakini wanakuwa naiko katika sehemu moja kwa sababu ya tabia au sifa chache alizonazo ambazo zinaonekana. And this is what our point tell us. And the similar organism may be placed in different group. Na vile vile another disadvantage or demerit ni kwamba organism ambazo wanakuwa na tabia za kufanana au similar au organism with the same evolutionary relationship, they tend to be placed into different groups because of this absence of these observable features. Take an example, umemchukua nyoka ni limbless, ukamgrupu pamoja na minyoo earthworm. Earthworm ipo katika phylum Askeminthis nematoda, lakini nyoka yule pale ni reptile. Kwa unajikuta kwamba you end up grouping this organism kwa sababu wewe umetumia this artificial limbless, wote hana miguu. Kwa hiyo umeclassify kwamba wote ni organism of the same species, lakini sio kweli. So this one of the disadvantage. Kwa unaishia kwamba kuplace, kwa mfano kama ulikuwa una crocodile, crocodile ana miguu, una nyoka ambaye ni snake, una lizard. Kwa unajikuta kwamba nyoka unaweza kumlegate pale kwa kuwa nyoka yeye hana miguu, unaweza kumclassify katika another group ambayo sio ya kwake. Lakini unaweza kumwacha katika group mwenzie ambayo kuna crocodile, tortoise pamoja na snake ambao wenyewe wote ni reptile. Lakini because snake hana miguu, unaenda kumclassify na wale legless ambao ni akina nematodes ambao ni kitu ambacho sicho. So this is one of the disadvantage of the artificial classification system. Also, it will provide only limited information about each members. For example, organisms like bacteria and viruses are grouped together because they are microscopic. Tumesema kwamba also artificial classification system wanatumia size na shape kuweza classify organism. Kwa mfano term of size unajikuta ana classify bacteria pamoja na virus katika same group kwa sababu wote ni wadogo, because they are microscopic. Kitu ambacho sicho kweli. They just use one criteria. Vile vile it is less accurate because it uses only few observable features. It cannot be subjected to the scientific approval kwa sababu it just use only few observable features, only any criteria katika classification of the organism. And this is an example of the artificial classification system. Unaangalia hapa ndege, bats pamoja na bees wamebaki classified katika any group kwa sababu wote wana wings. Lakini nyoka, konokono pamoja na earthworm wamebaki classified katika same group kwa sababu wote ni legless, kitu ambacho sio kweli. Another form of the classification system ni natural classification system, ambapo this organism are grouped based on many features in common, particularly those related to evolutionary relationship. Kwa katika natural classification system unatumia both internal and external features depending or by reflecting the evolutionary relationship, by looking their descendant ancestor, looking their ancestor, their common ancestor, the original ontogeny of this organism. So you can't only rely on these external features to classify organism, but you can also utilize the internal and external features so that to ensure that you classify organism to the appropriate groups. So in this system, characters that allow homology of origin must be distinguished from those exhibit analogy of or similarity of the use. Kwa katika this system of classification tunaangalia kwamba homology pamoja na analogy. Homology, these are the structure which have the same origin. They have the same evolutionary origin, lakini they perform different function on outside. Kwa mfano ukiangalia mkono wa binadamu, mkono wa this members of the class mammals. Katika class mammals kuna binadamu, kuna ng'ombe, kuna kina tembo, kuna kina lion, kuna kina bats within the class mammals. Ambapo wote Kwa mfano ukiangalia katika the embryology unajikuta kwamba wote wanakuwa wana upper pamoja na lower limbs, lakini their limbs has been modified adapted to various characteristics. Kwa hapo inaitwa ni homology. Wanakuwa na same character, the same origin in their structure, lakini they tend to look different on outside, they tend to perform different function as one of the adaptive advantage. So katika ukiangalia mkono wa binadamu, yeye mikono yake anatumia their limbs anatumia katika kutembea pamoja na this walking, kuweza kufanya kula afanyeje. Lakini ukiangalia mikono ya hata cows, miguu yake ile anaitumia katika kutembea, anakuwa ni tetrapod. Ukiangalia anakuwa ni tetrapod. Vile vile ukiangalia basi anatumia ile for wings kwa ajili ya flying. So this, lakini internally wote wanakuwa na same modification or same structure, lakini externally due to the adaptive advantage, adaptive radiation, wanakuwa na perform different function. So hii hapa naturally inakuwa inaangalia. Na vile vile similarity of the use, kuna structure ambazo zenyewe internally they are not the same, they are not from the common origin, lakini due to the adaptation to the environment, they tend to perform the similar function. Kwa mfano ukiangalia the wings of the birds pamoja na wing of the insect pamoja na birds, zote kazi zao ni katika flying, lakini hazina the common origin. Ukimwangalia ndege yupo katika class F lakini within the phylum Chordate. Ukiangalia birds yupo katika class Mammals lakini within the phylum Chordate. Lakini ukimwangalia insect ni Arthropoda class Insecta. Quite different, lakini wote wana wings na wote na perform function moja ambayo ni flying. So for example, the arm of man, 4 limbs of 4 legs and wings of the bird are homologous structures. In constructing wings of birds and insects of the same function ambao tunaita ni analogous but difference in origin. Now the merit of the natural classification system. Tumeambiwa 2 merit, lakini unaweza kuwapatia zingine in advance, you can choose. So it's all organisms which are not genetically and evolutionarily related to be grouped together. This is not these are it's all organisms of the same which are genetically related to be grouped together. Kwa inakuwa ina place organism ambao wanakuwa ni of the same evolutionary relationship na wanakuwa wana mahusiano ya kinasaba na be grouped katika group moja. Vile vile it is more accurate since it involves scientific research for gathering information before actual grouping. Kwa hiyo it can be subject to the scientific finding and approval. Kingine, it allow additional of new features when they are discovered. Vile vile it allow the discovery of other additional features. The demerit of the natural classification system. Demerit ya kwanza ni kwamba it is very expensive. Kwa nini very expensive? Ni gharama sana. Inahitaji muda wa kuzo collection of the data. Tunaangalia internal na external. You can't only use the external features kwa ajili ya kufanya natural classification. Unatumia collection of data, unatumia muda, unatumia hela kuweza kusafiri sehemu mbalimbali. Collection of data kuweza kuuliza watu na vile unasafiri kwenda sehemu mbalimbali kuweza for the gathering of the information. Na vile vile inahitaji knowledge kwa ajili ya kuweza kuiperform. Not anyone can perform it. So it is very expensive since it's all experiment. It involve experiment, research and high classification skill. Inahitaji mtu awe na high skilled, awe na knowledge ya classification ili aweze kuperform this particular kind of the classification, either kama ni botanist au ni zoologist. Vile vile it is tedious and time consuming since it uses many features in grouping organism. Inachukua muda, vile vile inachosha kwa sababu inatumia character nyingi kati ya kuweza kwa group our organism. So now let us see the differences. Baada ya kuangalia what is natural classification, what is the artificial classification system, the merit and their demerit pamoja na examples. Now we can say the difference. Now we can state the difference existing between the natural and artificial classification system. What are they? Tukianza katika definition. Tumeona kwamba artificial classification system ina use few observable features katika classification system. Lakini natural anatumia many features based on the evolutionary relation. Inatumia both internal and external features by reflecting the evolutionary relationship. So hapa ni moja difference kiangalia katika their definition. Another difference ni kwamba tumeangalia katika moja ya demerit ya artificial, demerit ya artificial ni merit ya natural. Na merit ya artificial ni demerit ya natural. Kwa katika artificial tumeona kwamba it end up grouping organism unrelated organism to the same group. Lakini katika natural, it will group organism which are genetically and evolutionary related into the same group. Vile vile, the natural classification system ni more accurate. It can be subject to the scientific findings for the approval, research and so forth. Lakini the artificial yenye not accurate, it cannot be subjected to this scientific finding kwa sababu it just rely on the few observable features. Na the last difference ni kwamba natural classification system, it is very expensive. It needs a skilled personnel who are well equipped with the classification knowledge. Lakini katika artificial, any person, anybody can perform it. See, no, there is no need of having the classification skill knowledge to perform the artificial classification system. That is the difference existing between these two types of the classification system. Now, let us see them. Artificial based on external features only, while natural consider both internal and external features. Second one, artificial system require simple skill, while natural require scientific skills. Also, artificial based on individual interest, while natural based on international standard. La nyingine, artificial is less accurate, while natural is more accurate. And the last one is artificial is fast and less expensive, while the natural is expensive and very tedious. Not only tedious, very tedious. My lovely Form 4 students, that marks the end of a lovely and enjoyable session where we discussed on the concept of the classification system, the merit, demerit, as well as the difference existing between these two kinds of the classification system. Thank you for your attention. I would like to insist you to stay tuned at Educare Media for other coming session. Have a nice moment.